now you got to keep in mind um, that everybody knows each other. So all these groups know each other. The first one to come forward was the big Tea Party gathering back in, was it 2010? Before 2010, it was for the 2010 elections, I believe. Uh, there was a large crowd. They didn't get out of hand. They were respectful Americans. You know, probably a lot of your average, um, ordinary working people all rose up against what Obama was doing. So it's a big slap in our face to let somebody go and guide your country or man your country who has this many people show up to go riot up at Washington D.C. And Glenn Beck said that he projected that there was probably, he said that he thought there was um, something like 20 million people or something like that. There was just an incredible amount of people there, and there's just an incredible amount of people um, just on any given day could do that again. But I say um, this isn't. This is the big riot, and the and what it is uh, for illustrated Tea Party rise. If it's a it's a hypothetical account. If these 20 million people, would you think Obama's in the White House when all these people were there, or you think he was over in some other country pretending like he was doing something over there? He had no idea what these people are gonna do. Um, and there it is. Military works for us. So everybody says they've got this loyalty to the president. Well, they when they take an oath, their oath is to protect and serve, and that's for us. That doesn't say anything about the U.S. president. That's brainwashing stuff that they tell the military when they make them act all brainwashed. Like you can't talk about in politics unless you're a Democrat. That's what they tell them these. Okay, um, so basically, these people here, um, uh, they they just wanted to be heard. Oh, that's a beautiful flag right there. I love that flag. I have two pins of that. One and a hat I've been wearing lately. I had two of them, so I figured I'd put the one in the hat I was wearing. Um, anyhow, these people don't really want to um, act too crazy, or what they're trying to get to is act peaceably, and for their voice to be heard. And basically, the politicians didn't hear what they had to say, and um, the Democrats were able to work the elections to where they got basically the an incompetent person that should not even have the job reelected. They got not just got him elected in the first place to have all these people rise up and go, you know, there, but but then to reelect him again, and then have Bill Maher or some other puke go on some kind of liberal TV show where they're all making fun of Republicans and talking all this crap, like it's, they're making an excuse for Obama over wasting money. You say, oh, well, the debt went from 9 trillion to 20 trillion by the time he leaves office. And what do we have to show for it? What do you spend the money on? I know here recently he went and bailed out banks again. Yeah, yep. Here recently, billions of dollars. I've been the billions of dollars for bad loans and bad ideas. I've been saying lately it's only obvious that um, he's been hiring a bunch of government employees. So um, they need to take all those government employees and not stick it. They need to make them work and talk to each and every American that may have a problem that they need help with. But everybody needs to be doing something. And um, there's a lot of people that probably don't even don't even have a job or whatever, and they're basically out here protesting something, um, you know, for them to be able to be supported like that. And I'm I'm not going to support that. But anyways, the the big picture here is these people didn't want any blood on their hands. So now you have like batters, racists. We'll look at any racists. What they say. We don't really want to see that. In Ferguson, a guy who grabs a cop's gun, they are gonna incite a riot. So you're dealing with people that are gonna be stupid, no matter who's president. Obama was president for 8 years, and they um, tried to destroy America. But then you see how many of them there are. Let's say protest. So basically, there's Tea Party people right here, right? Don't want to kill all of these people right over here that are trashing America and trying to destroy things, not get really anything accomplished, and they're being racist bigots. So you guys have ever since they gave you this civil rights thing or whatever, they've been pushing to segregate themselves and make themselves more um, obsolete from society or whatever. So all I can tell you is um, in this story that I'm trying to tell here is it's the big riot. So when these people, the people like myself, all these people here finally have had enough, like complete enough of all of this stuff, which is basically where we're at now. We've had it. I just wanted to let you know that um, they didn't go uh, overboard when they went to DC here and they didn't riot. They protested in this protest here. Nobody got killed. Um, you know, they didn't storm any buildings or anything like that. But the people's protest and their demand um, would have been heard um, if they would have decided to go and storm the White House and the Congress and the Senate buildings and everything, all of them. And they just wanted to just remove every politician. Um, then who would have been stopped? Who would have been there to stop them? You think the police would have, the DC police would have came out there to try to kill these people? You think the military was going to stop these people? Um, so, people here in this country, you know, have tolerated to the point where it's just gone overboard with these Democrats like that. So, um, basically, what you have is it'll all fix itself. It doesn't have to monster itself up like, like the Holocaust or anything like that. You're talking about um, enough good people that I believe will, um, or once there's one kind of mindset or way of thinking. So it's kind of a really split down the middle. Like I was saying, we all are revealed to each other who we all are. So I believe that um, basically we're split, and all of the good people, basically, even though I swear and I talk a lot of shit, um, I'm coming from the people side who want democracy, um, and are against um, people not living their lives normally. You don't have to, you know, be a criminal or a bad person and, perpetrate society or whatever. You can have good merits, and actually have good intention um, to want to see people. Like you can start by reading. There's a lot of people out there that might could use somebody helping them too, then to learn how to read, or help them earn a diploma or something, high school diploma or something, or a GED or something. But that's not what they're doing. They're out here, "Ooh, Black Lives Matters, all this." So what do you want to do? You want to take the police away out of the narrative? The only way that you can um, dwindle the police numbers down, law enforcement numbers down, is by getting rid of nasty people. So, um, anyway, it's just a hypothetical thought that I had. If um, they really wanted to see the big riot, all of those Black Lives Matter people would go run to their house, and they would go inside their house and put, oh, you ever see like a movie or something where they put, start stacking up shit behind the door, so that nobody can come in from the other side. That, I guarantee you, that's what they would, those Black Lives Matter people and these other racists and bigots in this country trying to perpetrate our country instead of trying to help our country out, or, at least doing it for their own self. They don't have a hobby or something. They should get a hobby and garden or something. But it's too late. It's already got to the point where they've gone too far. We've all revealed ourselves, and basically, when shit hits the fan like that, I think it'll be orchestrated too, not like chaotic. See, like the Black Lives Matter and these other people's riotings and stuff is kind of chaotic and out of hand. So there's another thing that, besides the sheer numbers out there of Americans that would step up, it would be the unification and in the way that they would execute their their plot or their riot intention. So that's the Tea Party rise. Basically, it's not really about Democrats or Republicans even anymore at this point. I think it's about our country and um, to put politics aside for a second, use some common sense in order to see the big picture and get our country back to the right fundamentals and back on track, which is what our forefathers had set our country up. And no, it's not outdated. Don't let them tell you that highly intellectual people that came up with something as good as America is too old, because it's not. So that's the big riot, and that's the big reason why I think right now why they didn't um, uh, overthrow the bastard back then, instead of just going through this bullshit through politics. Like, how did they get their Congress and their Senate all back at once whenever Obama had Congress and a liberal Senate in his first 2 years in office, and they didn't pass no gun control thing. They passed Obamacare. That's what they did. Yeah, because they didn't want to get their heads put on a platter back then. It's how reckless they are now. Is they want to try to take our guns, which would put their heads on a platter over that right then. So basically, uh, they're lucky that those people didn't just go ahead and take care of that stuff. But how they could have um, changed the Congress and the Senate, and then Obama gets reelected, and you don't think that they're not scamming us on the presidential elections? So basically been somebody who's been paying attention to it for a long time, and I have somewhat of a photographic concept capture of the whole um, timeline from these these Democrats that I do not approve, and um, that's a good possibility. What would happen on the big? Because you're not talking about like a hostile takeover, like them just overthrowing it. You're actually talking about every American being so pissed that they just want to kill each other. So I mean, and I don't know what our enemies would do. You know, like they don't want our country and they don't want our resources. That they wouldn't prefer to just kill us off if they couldn't actually enslave us for for us to harvest our own resources for them. You know what I mean? Where have our politicians been making us buy cheap stuff? You know, like paying China the trillions of dollars, putting ourselves in debt, and then say at the end of the day, oh, we owe you, China, we owe you 10 trillion dollars. You know how how is that? So these people can't manage. They couldn't manage a fart, let alone a country. So that's who we have um, in the White House or whatever. So I'm just lucky that the big riot didn't happen, because there would have been blood in the streets. It would have been pretty damn thick, um, and I don't know. People would have been like, "Go sit down," and they would shut up, not say a word. Hopefully, they wouldn't be caught uh, by um, the mass riot, the big, huge. Um, I don't know what you say. There's going to be a majority of Caucasians in there, of course. There's black people and other races also with them. They're just pissed off, and they're the larger number. So you just pissed them off, and you have to basically shut your mouth and be quiet. Otherwise, they're gonna kill you. They're just gonna chop suey from fillet you, you know, and not even blink, and not even blink. Just like I got the chop suey from blue the next guy. kablooey or whatever. So idiots in this country, they've got um, what do you say, stay of execution or whatever from the people on the right, the conservatives, or the Republican like mind people, all of them, for them not being out of control and at least being the adults in the situation. So um, I wouldn't hold anything against myself or them for doing that. If they did do the big riot, the Tea Party rise again, basically, but it's the big riot and the big. I would want it to be us, basically used with common sense. Not out of control and complete lawlessness. Like I said, um, that's one thing those guys don't have going for them is basically, they're not going to act like they're all on the same page, like they're all in the military or trained or anything. So bunch of idiots, if you ask me.